Hey, everybody. Hello, hello. Look at you guys on here just zooming away already. Oh, okay, Alicia, definitely will. Just lots of rest, lots of fluids. Take extra zinc for you won't lose your sense of taste. It has to be at least 50 milligrams a day. So do your zinc if you can take it. Oh, just rest. Yeah. Lots of vitamin C. Stay away from dairy and sugar and stuff like that because that kind of aggravates it. So just take your time with it. All right. And we will definitely be praying for you. So, hello, Patty. You're on here early tonight. How are you? Tinker's wife. Kiri, good evening to you. You had a rainy day. Ooh, so good that you're getting rain down there. That is so good. Now your cold front. You have to let me know what your cold front means down there. So, Sunflower Marcia, hello. How are you? You're still very dry with no rain. That is just crazy because you're in like the Pacific Northwest where you think that you get a lot of moisture up there. But wow, that's crazy. I've also read more, Patty, about parts of Oregon. What is it, up to 12 or 13 or 19 counties or something that want to secede? I know it's not funny, but in a way it kind of is. But it's like, wow. A cedar mill caught fire this weekend. Cedar brush burns hot. Oh my goodness. Yeah. You picked 4 green beans. Ooh, there you go. Snack. That's not even enough for a meal. It's just snack. Very good. Lisa, hello. I'm a little behind here. So, Bex, hello. Good to see you. Yep, zinc. Yep. Julie, hello, my dear. Who are we here? In summer into early fall, it's always quite dry. Okay. So is your rainy season start pretty soon then? Is like winter your rainy season? Because watching the Green Dream project, I've obviously found out that Arizona's, at least the southeast Arizona, their monsoon season is our dry season. So which is kind of crazy. It's like July through September is their rainy season. So it's just like backwards to me. But anyway, you have burn ban in Southwest Indiana. We have been dry here too. Little bit of rain on. Boy, it's already been. It may have been a couple times last week, but not much. I mean, nothing that's probably even more than a quarter of an inch total. But yeah, it's been crazy. And I was looking at the extended forecast through the NOAA, and they were saying that we're supposed to have a much colder than normal winter, like talking January through April. And so like 40% lower than normal. I was just like, yeah, it's already cold. And drier. So going to be one of those winters where not much snow, but lots of cold. So kind of preparing myself for that, I guess. Hike with Mike. Good evening to you. That's a fun name. Michigan Daffodil. Hi, how are you, dear? Yes, I'm glad that you're well enough to be on here. That's true. But I do know that, I mean, it's been almost 2 years since I had it. I was sick with it, but it's like you have no energy. All you can do is just sit and just like just watch TV or watch videos or something, and it's like, not even able to read or anything, just sit and just, like, take this in, so that you're even on here typing is excellent too. Oh my goodness. It should have begun raining already. This year has been warmer, much longer, and drier too, not a good combo. Oof. Yeah. No, is the river wide enough so the fire wouldn't jump the river? I would hope that would be a good thing. If you can stop that. The jet stream brings rain off the ocean during the colder part of the year, then changes direction and blows towards the ocean. Oh, okay. I always watch jet streams, of course, for the northern part of the continent, and I just don't really pay full attention to what happens in like the Southwest states and everything. Of course, you're gonna kind of watch the Atlantic and the Gulf for hurricanes and stuff like that. But hey, Connie, hello, hello. Yeah, the first 3 days usually are the worst there, Alicia. But I'm sorry that you guys have been sick. Where is my vent? To see if there was. I know that there was another system out in the Atlantic, but it looks like it maybe dissipated. Doesn't look like anything has formed, which is good. Which is very, very good. So anyway, last night we were down about 20 degrees, I think. Tonight's supposed to be 19. Tomorrow's about 20. Our highs are in the mid 30s for these couple days. Then it will warm up again a little bit. But we've had very strong northwest winds. So let me see what it says here. Like right now it's 32 degrees, but it'll get down to 19. But right now with the wind chill, it feels like 22. So the winds have gone down a little bit. They're 14 miles an hour out of the north. So, but looks like you guys are getting in there too. You grew up in Sacramento. I used to chat with a guy who lived in Thailand. Oh, Connie, I'm sorry you've not been feeling well either. Yep, you've got about 6 weeks left. Hike with Mike, where are you? Are you in Florida then? I lived in Louisiana for about 13 years, so right on the coast. Well, not on the coast, close to it, right on Lake Pontchartrain. So we had Hurricane Andrew go right over me, so I totally understand what that's about. You're getting 2 feet of snow in the UP? Oh my goodness. Wow. I didn't even see that. What was going on? Holy camole. Wow, that is. Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, right off of Lake Superior there, just dumping right on there. Oh my goodness. It's like hello winter, right? It's a starting. Oh, Patty, yes, I pray that you don't get it. How cold is it? You have a long sleeve shirt. Hey, Carrie, that's so funny. I mean, that could mean 75 degrees too, right? Or it could be, I don't think you'd be used to like 45 at this point, but as you can see, I have, yes, a thermal shirt and a fleece vest. I don't have my hoodie on with it, but this is fine in here. Oh, excuse me. I am so sorry. Yes. Hey, Dave. No worries. No worries. You're in Florida. Okay, Mike. Well, were you in the vicinity of Ian? And because I know other people that from Fort Myers, and I have not heard anything yet about how they are. So, um, Yeah. Way south of the UP, yeah. That's good. That's good. You have foreign exchange son from Thailand for a year. Oh, that is so great. When I was growing up, we had a number of foreign exchange students, that would stay with us, and it was so great. I It was one thing I just was not able to do here where I live and as a single mom and stuff, and it just, um, it was such a great experience to be with them. We had, one girl from Australia, one from Japan, one from France, couple short-term ones from Ethiopia, some guys. Um, I'm trying to remember what else, but it's such a great experience. If any of you are able to do that and take in, um, some foreign exchange students, it's just a great experience. It really is. So, um, where am I? I'm getting behind. You guys are like chatty tonight. That's so good. Yesterday it looked like it snowed, more accurately, a goose. That's your Texas snow. Oh my goodness, that's great. You stopped soda, coffee, and eating out as much. Wow. Wow, Connie, that you're doing fantastically there. That is so great. Your family was finally able to fly back home from Cape Coral. Oh, wow. Okay. So they're getting the airports up and going a little bit. Well, Mike, I'm glad that you were okay with it, but you're gonna be a great grandma. Oh, you're just a little excited. Oh my goodness, that is so great. Aw, Patty, how fun. How fun, how fun. Um, as a teacher, you've had several exchange students, Finland, China, Thailand, and UK. It's so wonderful because it's how to get to know a culture when you can't travel, but to get to understand the culture and everything, to have a student like that, it's just so great. Um, yeah, they would make dinners for us. So it would be their traditional meals and different things. So it was really kind of fun. Um, yeah, Bex, that's awesome. You basically have first frost in theory, but still none even at 2 week. Okay, we have not only had several frosts, we've gotten a hard freeze now too. So I think 19 qualifies as a hard freeze. But I still have to get my carrots out of my garden before the gophers get them, which they did last year. So I, yeah, I've between being gone on vacation and since I've been back this last week, holy buckaroos! I just I've been putting in a lot of long days. I'm talking 18-hour days and just work just piled up, and it's all coming together. Not coming together, it's all coming at me at the same time. So it's been crazy. Um, in high school, you were friends with an exchange student from Japan. Cool. That is so great. Uh, hey, Caitlin. Um, Hi, Donna. You was 27 this morning. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was around 20 this morning. Um, Tomorrow's gonna be 19, or tonight, I should say. They're still hanging in there. I know, Dave. It's like you start really watching that temperature, and it's like, can I get one more day out of them? Do I have to go out there and get them all now or not? And so, yeah, workload floods yeah, it's it's great to be on vacation, but yeah, you come back and it's like, oh, Dave, I think we all do that. I think we all do that. It's like, oh, it's gonna be a freeze. I better get out and just harvest everything so that I don't have to do it all now. I'll do it all later. You got your garden all cleared out? Oh, Donna, that's awesome. Very, very good. I know we have a few nice days coming up, temperature wise, anyway. So after Well, Wednesday, the high is 48, and then we have 54, 59, and then a couple days in the 60s over Saturday, Sunday. But anyway, there are a few days coming up that even the lows are in the 40s and 50s. So I should be able to get out there and get all of my garden taken care of and my winter prep. And so my plan is, so I'm just going to have to tell some work to just say, you're on hold for now. I've got other things I have to take care of, right? Happy chickens, yes. So it rained all night and half the day, so you worked hard inside. Oh, there you go. Actually, during the summer, I look forward to the rainy days because it's like it forces me to stay inside to get something else done, right? Oh, there you go. And Dave, you know what? That was my garden tip for tonight. Was just working at incorporating your leaves into your garden beds. And so you chopped them. That's awesome. You're right, Donna. Absolutely. But yeah, so my garden tip again is to try to figure out ways you can incorporate that, whether you um, chop them or if you mulch them with your mower and get them all mulched up and then incorporate them into the soil, or even just take them and make layers of them and then throw some dirt on top of it or whatever, try to get them to compost or throw them in a compost or whatever you're doing, but try to use those leaves. My yard is covered right now. One of the problems is it's been so windy that trying to rake them is not really it's like a what is it, exercise in futility to rake leaves when it's windy. So anyway, Grammy Karen, hello. Hey, Southern Blast. Hi, how are you doing? Um, you use leaves everywhere. Full size. Wow. Wow. That's a lot of leaves, Dave. Yep. That is a good bunch. Well, you've got lots of trees too, so that's great. Wanted to talk about some other things for fall. You get buried in leaves, I know. Well, one of my teachers, my college profs, was he's got, I don't know how many acres or anything or how big his property is, but he has a lot of oak trees that get really large oak leaves. And he said if he doesn't clean them up in the fall, the pressure, they create such a layer, such a thick layer there, and they get matted down by the weight of the snow and then wet and everything. So by the spring, when everything is all wet out there and the grass is trying to come up, it just smothers the lawn and it totally kills his lawn if he doesn't clean them up. So that's, just kind of one of those chores you have to kind of anticipate every year, trying to do that. So anyway, so this trivia, they're kind of in question and answer form, but so sometimes I might just read through them. Other times I might just throw it out as a question to see if you guys know the answers and everything. So anyway, so this is our autumn trivia night. So, oh, right along your stone wall. Yeah. So Americans typically refer to this time of the year as fall. What word does the British use to refer to fall? So it's American English, and then we have British English. Does anybody know what the Brits call fall? There you go, Kiri. You know that. Autumn. Yep, that's right, Alicia. So, way back before we got the words autumn and fall and everything, but historically, do you know what they would call fall when that would come? What would be the name? And this might be kind of just wondering if anybody would know. Instead of fall, they would call this fall time. It would be, hey, J and B, how are you? See if it's solstice. That's kind of a different thing. They would call it harvest. It's harvest time. So when we'd say, "Hey, it's fall now," they'd say it's harvest because everybody had to grow their own food, and everybody was farming. Everybody was whether it was just a garden or acres of land or whatever. But yes, harvest. So why do you think they called it harvest other than harvesting their food? Does anybody know why that harvest would be called that? Has to do with the moon. Yep, the harvest moon. There you go, Bex. The harvest moon occurs close to the autumn equinox, and we'll get into some of that too. But and what? Why does all this happen and everything? It's caused by the Earth's tilt. As it tilts back and forth, as it rotates, as it revolves around the sun, it rotates. And see, it's not sitting on an axis just straight up and down. It's like this. So as it's going around, different times of the year will be closer to the sun than the others, right? The equinox. So so it's not associated with our distance from the sun, but by the the equinox in the harvest moon that we get. um So in the northern hemisphere, what happens when we tilt toward the sun in the northern hemisphere? So I was just showing you, it's like here's the sun. If we're up here, what happens when we tilt closer to it? And then what happens when we're further away from it? Yep, the rotations do. Um, a little off kilter to the south. There you go. It gets warmer, of course, when we tilt towards the sun, colder when we're further away. So the when we're at the very equal part, when the northern hemisphere tilts away, um, and okay, so let's be like summer. This would be winter, summer, winter. But when we're around here, it would be like fall and spring, right? And so we get an equal amount of daylight and darkness. Okay, and so that's an equal amount where the equally distance from the sun then too. So that's the equinox. We have the autumn or autumnal equinox, and then the spring is the vernal. Comes from the word green. Um, I think it's a Greek word. See Greek or Latin, but I think it's Greek. Vernal equinox, and so the autumn one is there. So fall and spring are the times of transition. Those are the seasons of transition. Um, I like this one. When does our time fall back? It is November 6th, I believe. Because I've just came across that this morning. Um, one question that came up was like, can we gain weight around this time of year with all the food that we eat, with harvest and everything? Can we gain it? Oh, I suppose it depends on how much of it you eat, but um, one of these years it won't fall back here. I know they're talking about that um, possibly for this January, but I don't know. It just messes with her. If that's the case, we wouldn't have sunrise here until about almost 9:30 in the morning, and I don't like that. So, anyway, um, they said, "No, you can't gain weight with all in the harvest." And we're tilting from the sun. Are we all just like in a tilt here? Okay. Um, what researchers have found is due to a lack of vitamin D because of the sun's different distance. So, a lack of vitamin D can actually reduce the fat breakdown and it triggers fat storage. So, I know, right, Alicia? Ugh. So, no, we don't gain weight because of the equinox, but lack of vitamin D. So, how about that? Um, little known thing. So, pumpkin spice is actually the spice mix used for pumpkin pies. Is there any pumpkin in the pumpkin spice mix? So all of you bakers out there, is there any pumpkin in the nope. Thank you, Alicia. Very good. Very, very good. It's comes from cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, allspice, and cloves. So people think, oh, pumpkin pie spice. Well, it's like, why is there no pumpkin in it? It's like it's the spice that goes into the pumpkin that gives us the things. So good, Michigan Daffodil. I'm glad you do. Yeah, I take about an extra 5,000 units a day, but I probably will double that in the winter too. So, um, okay. So all the fall colors in the trees. Um, what causes the colors? I mean, there's a few different reasons, but and you might not get this one, but you like the spices, not the pumpkin. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, that makes me feel better about doubling mine too then. Uh, Julie, you got it. Yes, the amount of sugar in the leaves are what cause the colors. So, the redder the leaf, the more sugar that leaf is storing. Oh, that's a good one, Joy. Full spectrum light bulb. Nice. Sugars in the leaves and cool nights and warmer days. Yep. So the redder the leaf, the more sugar the leaf is storing. That is why maple trees are so vibrant. Um, and some of these are going to be kind of bouncing around. I meant to go through and organize them into groups, but they're I didn't have time for that. So sorry. And why don't evergreens change their color in fall? And really doesn't have anything to do with the sugars in them, but ooh, your maple evaporator. So it's all ready then? Wait, have you even had one? Have you even had one, Dave? I don't remember if you did or not. But do you get it all set up so it's ready to go then? Sugar maple is very bright red. Yes, it is. Um, in fact, I am going to go down and try to find that other one because I know there is more information. Um, oh, am I going to even see that here? So the leaves of red maples change to scarlet. The leaves of sugar maples change to orange red. So you've got your scarlet, which is like your deep red, and then you've got your orange red. So your red maples, sugar maples, and then aspen leaves change to gold. So what do the oak leaves change to? What colors are those? Um, brown, yeah, or yellow brown. And it probably depends on what kind of oak you have too, but some of them are reddish brown. They're kind of a rust color. We get a lot of the rust color here, that reddish brown color. Um, do you know what pigment in the oak trees that they get their brown color from? Kind of sap has been terrible, so sticky. Oh, yes, Dave. There you go. Julie, you guys know it. Your tannins. Okay. When the trees get their orange color, other than the sugars in them, the orange color, what does that come from? What pigment would be in there? Do you know what that is? keratin. Yep, it's or it can be spelled keratin, kind of the same thing. Um, that's how they spelled it in here, so they might be wrong too. Who knows? So, where do people go for good leaf peeping in the United States? Good leaf peeping. We had some good leaf peeping up north here this last week. Oh, and I was up there on vacation. Oh my gosh, they were just, yeah, Dave, there you go. Northern New England. So that's the New Hampshire, Maine. Yep, New England. Yeah. That's one thing I really, really missed when I lived in Louisiana was, oh my goodness, the change of seasons and not getting all those colors and that crisp winter air. I mean, every year I would wait for that crisp northern Arctic air to give me that clean, fresh scent, and it'd be like December and January would come along, and I would be like, "Oh, we're getting some north wind here." It's like, and it's gonna be a cold front, and it's like, I go and smell, and it's like, it still smells like garbage. It's like, no, there's no, oh, and it wasn't until I came back up here, it was like, oh, I missed that. I know we've talked about that smell before, but so yes, New England is famous for leaf peeping, for the picturesque beauty and fall foliage. So our colors of fall are orange, red, purple, brown, and yellow. I prefer almost say gold. It's just like the trees are just my ash is already fallen. The leaves are already down, and they'll just turn gold. It actually had just started turning when I left on vacation, and when I came back, it was bare. So I totally missed it. I was like, "Oh." Um, so there's a pigment that turns the colors of the leaves to red and purple. Mm. So it's not keratin and it's not tannins. Does anybody else know what that would be? I mean, there's a lot of science leafy stuff here, but all has to do with autumn. Yes, we call it gold too. Just wondering if this is kind of a different one. It's anthocyanin. Anthocyanin. I should type that out for you guys. Antho. Oh, Julie, look at you, so smart. Cyanin. Yes. I was already typing it, and I just figured I'd finish up. Oh, she knows her leave stuff. She's very, very good. I know, I know. Right, Dave? She's doing it good here. So I'm gonna go back to the live chat. Um, anthocyanin is the same thing purple veggies have in them. Ooh, like purple peppers and beets and different things like that, huh? Okay. So while we're on pigments, which pigment decreases in the plants during autumn? I know a lot of you would think that. So, oh, fruits too. Hmm. Would that be grapes and eggplant would have one? So figs. Okay. Awesome. So which pigment decreases? There you go, Michigan Daffodil. Woo! She's right in there. So like big guess. It's like, yep. Blueberries, blackberries. I had blueberries this week. They were so good. Oh my goodness. Speaking of blueberries, when you if you guys like blueberries and you like to eat them, do you like the firmer ones that are more tart, or do you like the softer ones that are sweeter? What kind of blueberry do you like? I think it depends on what I put it in, but if I'm just eating them plain, I like them a little tartar for some reason. Tartar. So you like them sweet, you like them tart, sweet. We get sweet tarts here. Soft and sweet, you don't like the tart. Yeah, there's just I don't know, that blueberry flavor when it's a little tart, oh my goodness, that comes in. Little tart, the wild ones, oh my goodness. Yes, there you go, Dave, good distinction there. But yes, little tart for snacking, but, a little sweeter for other things. Yep. Um, so leaf colors change in the trend of it, and, like, the timing and the different things. Does it depend on its species? True or false? When leaves change? Should be an easy one, I hope. Um, and then why is the harvest moon important? Do you know why it's important? Yes, there you go. Two yeses. Can be cultivatix, variety and species. I was just using the question here. I wasn't getting fancy, Patty. Uh, um, so the harvest moon is important for an abundant harvest because of all the other things that we talked about. So, uh, yeah, it's the last moon before frost. Oh, that could be too. But have you guys ever seen what we call the harvest moon? It's a full moon this time of year, right just right over the horizon, and it's just hanging there, and it's huge, and it's orange, and it's just like it is so gorgeous, and it's just like so big, and it's like you can just like picture the dried up corn stalks against it, different things. So like that, it's like, oh yeah, yeah, it's uh, um, the origin of the word autumn actually comes from the Latin word um, augere, 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 which means to increase. So, to increase and increasing the harvest, increasing, all that the stuff that's the increase in colors, the increase in all that kind of thing. So, oh, I know, Joy, right? It's just incredible. All right. I'm highlighting all the ones that I've already asked so I don't get all mixed up here. When does autumn end in the Northern Hemisphere? You once saw a lunar eclipse at the same time. Oh my goodness. Wow. With a harvest moon. There you go. All right. Kiri and Alicia, you did it. Very good. When does autumn end in the Southern Hemisphere then? For all of our Australian friends and um, those in South America. And so when does autumn end in the Southern Hemisphere? There you go, Carrie. Yep, June 21st. Very, very good. So their autumn begins March 21st, right around there, 21st, 22nd, and ends in, yep, same time our summer begins, their autumn begins. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, let me go back up here. um, oh, this is interesting. Why is fall called the season for lovers? Because more people go from single to in a relationship or engaged in fall than any other season. Did you know that? That'd be great to know if any of you followed that pattern. Snuggly to stay warm. There you go. Yep. That's why I think there's a whole lot more babies born in early summer too. Um, so what is the biological? You got married in November. Okay. Why is fall called the season? Oh, what is the biological reason that the fall turns the season for lovers? They said that it may be because both men and women experience a higher level of testosterone in colder months. We don't have a great answer as to why that is, but more babies are conceived in cold months than any other time of the year. Yeah, that kind of figures. So, uh, um, all right. So let's go to you met in October, moved in for many years later in October, got married in July. Good time. Yes, absolutely good time to cuddle. I mean, you've got apple cider and you've got pumpkin pie and you've got the fire in the fireplace and you've got the cold nip outside that you just had to, wear a jacket and extra clothes and everything that you just like, whew, and then you just like need to warm and get warm and right. Oh, somebody know anybody here for me? I'm just teasing. Okay. There you go. There you go, Patty, right? Okay, let's do a shift here to the birds. Um, what is it called when the birds start leaving an area and everything? Do you know what that's called when they move from one place? There you go, Grammy Karen. The migration. So why do you think they do that in the fall here in the northern hemisphere? Why do you think they do that? That's a good, yes, Jude. And I know you didn't mean it as funny, but no, that is true. Um, yes. I mean, because right now, duck and goose hunting is huge, and pheasant too. But the ducks and geese are just flying overhead like crazy, and they're racing to get to where. Um, Essentially, it's not so much you don't freeze to death; it's that they're trying to find open water because up in Canada, all the lakes are already freezing. And so, um, as they get down here, when the water's still open, but then there's a point where all our lakes freeze and then they have to keep flying south further more and more. So they spend the season traveling to mating grounds or for finding food. So, I would not want to have my backyard be a whole mating ground, I don't think. But so Kiri, maybe you guys get all of the geese from up here. I don't know where they stop, but somewhere where the lakes aren't freezing anyway, that's for sure. But the masses are flown. Yep. Yeah, they're I would say, like all the smaller birds that would migrate have already gone, but and I don't know. I was hearing flocks of geese for quite a while last month. So I'm not sure how the hunting is this week. You don't get Canadian geese here. Okay. Um, so we're going to be back in the tourism part of things here. So the leaf peeping in New England, do you know how much money that brings in? It brings in about $3 billion to that little area. So yes, it's huge. Very good tourist thing, and it's something I want to do. I mean, I want to get up there at some point, but I think the geese are probably in the combined fields. Yes. Um, I think all of our soybeans have been harvested. Our sugar beets and potatoes have all been harvested. We still have corn left to harvest. So I have seen flocks of blackbirds all into the cornfields at this point. So, but I think they've been working on it. Typically around here, if the farmers have everything harvested by October, well, usually November 1st is like their goal. If they get done by October 15th or some 15th, 20th, that is like a really good year. That's early for them. But usually November 1st is their goal for that. The If it's a really, really wet fall, lots and lots of rain, and the fields are just so muddy, they a lot of times will have to wait until the ground freezes in order to be able to get the tractors out there and the combines and stuff. Um, but otherwise, if it goes to November 15th, that's kind of like the latest outside time frame for harvesting. But usually November 1st is their kind of their cutoff. Um, that money is a huge part of your state income. Yeah, exactly. So everybody else is bringing money into your state. I suppose with a small state, you kind of have to have something, right? Okay. Back to fall here. Um, do you know what the traits are overall for fall babies or babies who are born in the fall? Who'd have thought? It's like, man, it's like I was born in June, so I don't know what the traits are for that. But um, they said children born in the fall are statistically better students and live longer. So it's interesting. So any of you who are September, October, November babies, even into early December. Oh, there you go. There you go, Alicia. Your red-winged blackbirds are gathering in drainage ponds. They're really loud. Oh, yes, they're loud. Dark-eyed junco birds have arrived. I don't know if I've seen a dark-eyed junco. Be interesting. Arrived in mid-Michigan. They summer in Canada. It's a sign that cold is here to stay. Okay. Ooh, 21st and November 6th. Well, those are good dates. Those are very good dates. All right. Um, so there's an effect of of fall on people. In the summer, people are like, you know, energetic and out to the lakes and outside and doing all this stuff and everything else. But as fall comes through, um, about 5% of the population really suffers depression. It could be anywhere from less sunlight to the colder temperatures and do all that. But there is something else that does happen. I gotta find it. It's not in order here. Um, Sorry. There's I've got like 16 pages worth of notes here. So sorry, I'm trying to find it. Um, okay. So anyway, there's melancholy emotions that are kind of associated with this, especially like in poetry and stuff like that. But there's something very, very interested. Oh, here it is. That psychoanalysts note that in the fall, many people have a dulled sense of fear. I thought that was really interesting. That when fall comes around, they have a dulled sense of fear. They don't explain why. They just say that that's what they've noticed. So the overachiever shown outside. It really should be like 8 pages, but it kinda doubled up, but there were different ones that were here, so, yeah. It's not depression, it's winter prep. Go. Yes. You're right, Dave. Oh, and I look forward to the cool days, especially, like, by July, it's like, to have the cool days of fall, just to get outside and work and all this and get things done. So, yes. But, yeah. So a dulled sense of fear. I thought that was really interesting. Yes, Patty. That's so great. Um, do you know what, so we also call this time, when we get warm days, and I've talked about this before, we have Indian summer. Do you know what, some of the Mediterranean countries call their Indian summer? I don't know if you would remember that. It's a gypsy summer. Oh, and guess this. What was the use of pumpkins in the old days other than, having it for food and stuff? They would use it to remove freckles and to cure snake bites. I have no idea if that works, but they just said in the old days. So I mean, it could be, 4,000 years ago, or it could be 100 years ago. I don't know. But anyway, to remove freckles and cure snake bites. It's good for the skin to like rub it on, or for eating it. To eat it, and then it's good for your skin. Um, all I could picture when I read this, to remove freckles, is cutting this pumpkin in half and scooping out some of the seeds in the inside and everything, and just putting this pumpkin shell right over your face, and just like just walking around this pumpkin on you, and it's like, okay, it's like, what in the world are you doing? It's like, I'm getting rid of my freckles. So I don't know. That could be Julie too. So you rub mashed pumpkin on the face like a mask. Okay, well, that's better than my visual. Oh, that would be, well, there you go. There's something else you can do with your pumpkins. You know what? Dehydrate it, and then you can rehydrate them for your mask throughout the winter. As a young mother, you loved it when it got dark early. It meant that kids were in, bathed, snuggled in jammies early. Yes. Oh, yes. Maybe the headless horseman just got a lot of freckles. I'd say blend it, not mash it, though. Stringy pumpkin is gross. Yes, it is stringy, and that does get gross. So, all right. How many apples does it take to create 1 gallon of apple cider? 1 gallon of apple cider. Any guesses? Mhm. Lots of apples. Did you know there are over 8,000 varieties of apples? 8,000 varieties. Oof, that is a lot. It takes 2 bushels? Probably not that many. It says 36 apples. Now I would imagine they have to be at least a medium to large size apple. So, yeah. And Patty just probably trying to, you know, people are making more and more hybrids all the time, of course, right? So, all right. There is um, a festival in Germany for autumn, for the fall time. Does anybody know what the name of that is? Hey, Jay, that's fine. You just got wine sap apples? Ooh. There you go, Grammy Karen and Alicia. Yes, Oktoberfest. Very good. Do you know that 1.3 3 million gallons of beer are poured during Oktoberfest. 1.3 million gallons. That is just crazy. That is crazy to me. So, beer fest, yes. What is a good organic spray that can be sprayed on apple trees to get rid of bugs and worms? Oh, I have not ever sprayed my apple trees. I don't know. Yes, beer fest. I know. What sport do we see people do in the fall? Any wild guesses? It's kind of going on right now. Um, so, oh wow, Mac and Patty, that's awesome. Football, yes, the football. Feet. Yes. Um, Donna, I don't know, maybe Patty, the tinker's wife, can help you out with that one. I have, like I said, I don't do much in the way of spraying and things, but let me see if I have any. We've got a couple minutes left here. Any other questions? Um, some of these questions are really inappropriate. I'm just like, what? I'm not even gonna go there. Harvest Moon. um, yeah, I think there's. According to NASA, autumn is aurora season because geomagnetic storms are about twice as frequent as the annual average during the fall. So we think of like the aurora borealis and the northern lights coming like in the middle of winter, but actually fall is the better time for that, which is really kind of cool. So slipping on wet leaves is a sport. Oh no. Oh, shivering, is that considered a sport? Oh, yeah, Jay, this we had I'm gonna be in the upper teens tonight. So you remember your dad used to hang a tin can with turpentine and something else in it that kept bugs and worms away. Okay. Um, yeah, I know you can hang like a milk jug too with is it beer or vinegar or something in there, vinegar and sugar or beer, something in there where you've got the narrow opening, the like the bugs and the bees can get down in there and then not get out. So 7 can be sprayed. Apples are pea size. Okay, good to know. Um, all right. So I wanted to ask you guys, for anybody coming in, did any ads play on when you opened up my live at all? Were there any ads playing? Because I got a notice here that said that my AdSense account was canceled. No reason. They don't let you know. There weren't any. Oh, Lisa, you had an ad? Okay. Um, Peppermint oil? Not this time. Hmm. Okay. Thank you, Pay. Okay. Oh, wow, Dave. Okay. I don't know if they're doing a sweep through things or what, but it's crazy. So they're like, "We're not paying you because we've canceled your account." And I'm like, "What?" Uh, I know. At least it is nice not to have the ads, but so anyway, guys, I don't know if you learned anything here tonight or not, but it's kind of fun to trivia about times of the year and the different things that we have going. So it's already been an hour, just like that. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Oh, thanks, Grammy Karen. Thanks, Dave. Alicia, I appreciate all of my moderators. For you in blue, thank you so much for being here and having my back. And all of you, spread the word to have more fun here on Monday nights. That would be great. So invite a friend. All right. So you guys, we will see you next week. You take care. God bless. Always have hope. And just be careful and stay warm this week. Okay. All right. Yes, it did fly by. Thank you guys. Good night.